going into the election with that biggest of all victories. You know, they say the biggest thing you can do is the appointment of judges, but especially the appointment of Supreme Court justices. That's the single biggest thing a president can do. Because it sets the tone of the country for 40 years, 50 years, I mean, a long time.
That was the president yesterday in Virginia. He was in Florida and Georgia before that. Tough to keep track of where he is on any given day. But we are glad that Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst, is with us this morning. Judge, this is a big moment. The president talking about it yesterday. He's going to announce it today at 5 o'clock. What's your prediction? And just lay out the significance of naming a third nominee in just one term.
You know, very few, good morning, guys. Very few presidents have had this many nominees, and Donald Trump is still in his first term. And this nominee this morning, Amy Coney Barrett, we have every reason to believe that it is she, is the conservative intellectual, sort of in the Neil Gorsuch mold that President Trump has been promising he would nominate. He's been utterly faithful to his promises with respect to the intellect and ideological orientation of the people that he has nominated. In the case of Judge Barrett, who, by the way, is a graduate of the same law school that I am, Notre Dame Law School, although I'm a generation ahead of her. In the case of Judge Barrett, she has a very little track record, but very strong opinions already articulated. She has already argued that Roe versus Wade, the abortion decision, was wrongfully decided. She's also said she will respect stare decisis, laws that are well settled, and would not vote to change them other than in the most profound and significant situation. So she's going to be grilled on that. She went through this grilling about 2 years ago when President Trump appointed her to the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals in Chicago, the court on which she now sits. But for Donald Trump, this is a moment of triumph. Three justices in 3.5 years, all of a similar intellect and all of a similar attitude about the Constitution.
Judge, I want to ask you about term limits, because that's something that's being talked about right now, particularly by some on the left who are not happy with the fact that President Trump has had the opportunity to make these three nominations. But California Representative Ro Khanna has made some comments about that. Let's take a listen, and then I want to get your reaction specifically to what was said.
It's actually a tweet, and I have it right here.
Yeah.
This is what Representative Ro Khanna said. We need term limits for the Supreme Court. Every president should have an equal chance to appoint justices. Our entire democratic system shouldn't hinge on the shoulders of individual Supreme Court justices. Judge, that's the tweet from Representative Ro Khanna.
Well, Representative Ro Khanna's problem is not with Donald Trump, and it's not with the electorate. It's with the Constitution. So legislation, it's pretty basic. Legislation can't change the Constitution. The Constitution prescribes that federal judges, which includes justices on the Supreme Court, serve for life. So what he's really talking about is amending the Constitution, which is nearly impossible without a tremendous national consensus behind it, because it requires a vote of 2/3 of both houses of Congress and then a ratification by 3/4 of the state legislatures. There is just not the political support there,
Judge,
for what he wants.
Really quickly, Judge, I just want to follow up on that. Of course, you're a famed judge. I went to law school. I don't know if that qualifies me for any particular special knowledge. But we both know the point of a lifetime appointment is to insulate justices from political pressures. But setting aside the constitutional demands, is 18 years and terming out, do you think, a good idea? Set aside that you have to amend the Constitution. Would it be a good idea?
In my opinion, no. I'm just not in favor of changing the procedures that have worked so well for 230 years because of some political angst. I can't imagine Representative Ro Khanna would be doing this if Joe Biden were appointing, fill in the blank, a liberal justice. And if Biden gets elected, he may have the opportunity to do that. I don't know where the 18 comes from. And the Constitutional Convention, they talked about term limits, and it was almost unanimously rejected, and that's why federal judges sit for life.
Judge Andrew Napolitano has actually read the Federalist Papers and understands what they debated at the Constitutional Convention. That's why we have you on, Judge. Thank you so much.